The Handmaiden, directed by Park Chan-Wook. So the movie starts out in Japanese-occupied Korea, and a flippant flank named Suk-hee becomes the new handmaiden with her new name Tamako, with the gibberlink of the manor, Lady Hadako. And when Suk-hee gets there, Lady Hadako screams and is like, "Come in here and make my booty shine in the wind so my ghostly aunt can do the nay-nay and leave me alone." And Suk-hee's like, "Y'all got BT out here?" But it actually turns out that Suk-hee is a professional grabber of things, who's working for a con man named Count Fujiwara, who makes a plan to get that rich Krupa scrimp Hadako to fall in love with him, to take the precious cookie in a cookie jar that's worth a lot of money, finally throwing Hadako into a hospital for people who got peanut butter in their brains. And immediately, Suk-hee is overtaken by the beauty of Hadako and starts to feel a bit wibblewant about tricking her to her demise. Then Suk-hee sees that nasty-looking uncle that Hadako is betrothed to, and he gives her a spook and spickle. One day, Suk-hee is bathing Hadako and takes care of a toothache that Hadako be having. And let's just say, things get a little personal. Yeah. Then the count arrives to the manor, and the Operation Woo Hadako begins. But something else begins, as Suk-hee becomes closer, and Suk-hee starts to fall in love, and starts to not like the idea of tricking Hadako. Hadako opens up about her mother passing away at birth, and Suk-hee responds warmly and says that she was lucky to have you, just as her own mother said before she passed away. And after becoming this close, Suk-hee has had enough of this boomalay charade, and doesn't like her partner in crime, the Count, anymore. One night, Hadako wants to ask Suk-hee about why and how the Count wants to grab her at night, and so Suk-hee kisses her to show her how it's done. And then Hadako, grabs her, and then they grab each other, and it turns out they like to grab each other and, do other things also. And so through some grabbing, they fall in love. Hooray for this type of love. If you're breaking down when I'm breaking up and breaking down to the town, chow, chicken, chin, chow, pucka, pucka, pow town. And now, Hadako wants no part of the Count, and neither does Suk-hee. And the Count privately comes up to Suk-hee and is like, "I'm upset!" And the Count is upset and gives her some hot words, and she gives some back. And the Count convinces Suk-hee to go and get her love. But Hadako wants to stay with Suk-hee forever. But Suk-hee's like, and goes back on her love by telling her that she should go with the Count, even though Hadako has no one else in the world but her, which makes Hadako all wiggle-whooped. Oh, my heart, my boo-boo-ka-choo heart. And so the Count, Hadako, and Suk-hee slip and swoop to Japan, and the Count marries Hadako. And then Suk-hee calls the mental hospital, and right at the last moment, Suk-hee gets betrayed. And the other two say that Suk-hee thinks that she isn't Hadako herself, and the mental hospital takes her. Oh man, what a twist in my booty. So now we flash back to one of them explanation things, and it turns out from a young age, Hadako saw her aunt send herself to them cloudy things from trying to escape her uncle, who wanted them to read books right. But it turns out Hadako's job is to read rare voo-voo-va-voom books to a bunch of old lamaloops who got a lot of potatoes in their pockets, and probably one other potato or some specific fruit that I won't say. And the Count is one of them jibbaloobs, and talks directly to Hadako about a plan to get millions of potatoes in their pockets. But Hadako's all scared of her uncle's "I ain't playing all nice like for real" chamber. So the Count shows Hadako a highly concentrated opium. 3 drops, you be sleeping. 5 drops, you be dead. And with them conditions, she accepts. And asks for a sucker saint that they can trick into going to the mental chamber. And then we get to see how Hadako plays Suk-hee like a fiddle until she fell in love with her. So then they play each other like a fiddle. And we also get to see that. Also. Oh. And so after Suk-hee betrayed her love, Haruko wants to send herself to the clouds. But Suk-hee is like, no, fam. And they both get a new plan to stick together. And they destroy the uncle's perverse library of va-va-voo-voo-voom books and bounce. And Haruko uses the opium to put that sucker count to sleep. And then she gets away with Suk-hee with all the cash they got. And because the uncle was looking for them, the count gets caught instead. And then the uncle takes the count to the I ain't playing anymore chamber. But the count has his own exit slip, which takes them both out for good. And so Haruko and Suk-hee consummate their love together in a way that I can't talk to you about or show you. And so thus, Haruko and Suk-hee continue to now be able to live in their love of freedom and liberation. The end. Yeah, that was a good one. I'm personally glad I got to see that. Ooh, boy, what a movie.
눈이 올까요? 우리 자는 동안에 눈이 올까요? 그대 감은 눈 위에